Hello, this is just a short video on how I make my buildings. I've printed that picture out at 100%, so it's, as it is now, it's ready for the layout. So all I've got to do is measure all the bits on it and transfer it onto card and then stick it together. But first I have to design all the components on my computer and then print them out. So first I've got to measure the works entrance and the windows, but I'm only having 2 windows and not 3. And the full size of the building. And then the buff coloured stone going from the roof to the ground level. Then the cornices, I think they're called cornices, which go across the under the windows and things. As you can see, I've cut the front of the building out. I've cut the windows, but I've gone for just normal oblong ones instead of the arch-topped windows. Cut the works entrance as well. So I need some 2mm card now to put the buff coloured stone on. And some cornices, which are also 2mm card by about 5mm. So I've printed my brick paper out. All I've got to do now is cut it to size and glue it on with some Pritt stick. All I have to do now is mark it with a pen or whatever. I would make it about 2mm bigger than what I want, and you can overlap the edges so you don't have any like white edges showing, because there's nothing worse than white edges on a building, such as Metcalfe's. I'll zoom in so you can see the windows. Then you just cut it and then fold it over on the edges. As you can see, I've cut the brick paper out, turned it all the way around, and then put some Pritt stick on, put your card on top of the brick paper, and you can line it up better. So if you're doing it the other way around, it's going to make it a lot harder to line up. I've stuck the brick paper onto the card and turned the edges over so you can't see any white bits. Designed some buff coloured stone which goes all the way to the roof. Just need some 2mm card now to stick it onto. So I've cut the cornices, so next I'm going to paint them black. Let them dry, make a cup of tea, as you do, and cut them to size and glue them on. So I've painted and stuck the cornices on. I need 9 altogether because there's 3 on either side of the building. But I'll stick them on after I've finished the building. Next I might go the buff coloured stone bits. I've stuck the buff coloured stone bits on in 3 different sections. But I might have to replace the top 2 because they're not straight. It's only a matter of cutting some paper out and sticking it on top of the existing ones. As you can see, I've put the names on. This is an actual listed building in Sheffield to make cutlery and knives and forks and hunting knives, that kind of thing. This is just the works entrance because the building's about 100 times bigger than this. I've finished the windows. Now all I've got to do is stick some acetate on top of it. Use some impact adhesive around the edges, but not on the actual window frames. And that's the windows glued in. What I do, I put some impact adhesive around the edge of the acetate and put the card on top of the window. That way you can line it up a lot easier. It's taking shape slowly but surely. I've cut the two sides out and the back. What I do, I put the front onto a piece of card, just draw around it, cut it out, and then when it's glued together, you know you've got a square building. Right, I've finished the sides off. So what I do next is glue the side onto the front in an upright position, so the building is still upright. And then I put some strengtheners inside, making sure the strengtheners are 100% square. And when the strengtheners are in, I glue the back on. And then put some strengtheners across the back onto the walls. And that's the sides glued on. What I was going to do is put some internal walls inside that works entrance, but I've decided against it. So now I'm going to put a works gate on it. That should be a lot easier. So I'm putting a gate across there. So I've printed the gate out. And I just want to stick it on top of that card and then glue it on from the inside. And that's the gate done. The piece of paper underneath is to stop the gate falling too far down, so it leaves a small gap underneath. And that's the roof tiles done. Coming from Google Images, I just type roof tiles in, scale them down on my computer, and then stick them onto them white pieces of card, and that's your roof done. Before you glue the roof on, you need a bracing bit across the top from back wall to the front wall, gives the roof a bit more strength. And then you can glue your roof on. It doesn't actually look straight from this angle, but it is. It's perfectly straight. Also stuck some ridge tiles on as well. Might put some soffit boards on the front, if that's what they call them, up to the tiles. And that's the finished building. I'm going to put some gutters along the edge of the slates and then soffit boards or fascia boards on the front. Make it look a bit better.